In today's class, we will discuss about confusion matrix. Classification is a data mining functionality that has large number of applications including fraud detection, credit loan approval, web page categorization, medical diagnosis, etc. In medical diagnosis, for example, we are trying to find out whether a person is having a certain disease or not. Now, a disease COVID-19 is spreading. If training data with relevant attributes are available, we can design classifier for this disease also. When classification is applied in human affairs, it is very important that the classifier should be highly accurate. There are different methods and measures for evaluating a classifier. Confusion matrix is one among them. What is accuracy? The accuracy of a classifier is its ability to correctly determine the class label of a randomly selected data instance. It is measured as the percentage of test tuples that are correctly labeled by the classifier. We are generating the classifier in the training phase using the training data. Using the same data to estimate the accuracy can result in misleading over-optimistic estimates, because when we use the same training data, the model is not tested on any samples that it has not already seen. So there are two phases, testing phase and training phase. So accuracy is usually measured on a test set consisting of tuples with the class label that were not used to train the model. The accuracy of a classifier on a given test set is the percentage of test set tuples that are correctly classified. In short, you should understand that there are two phases in the development of a classifier: training phase and testing phase. In the training phase, we are generating the classifier using the training data. In the testing phase, we are evaluating the classifier using test data, which is different from training data. So classification is a supervised learning technique because the training data contains class labels. So training phase can be considered as equivalent to a teacher tutoring you, and test phase is equivalent to evaluation by giving exams, assignments, etc. Confusion matrix is used to evaluate a classifier in the testing phase. The four data available in the confusion matrix are true positive, false negative, and true negative. To eliminate confusion, you should distinguish between the terms true and false, positive and negative tuples, predicted and actual class. In the test data, class label is present. This is used to verify whether the result returned by the classifier is correct or not. The result returned by the classifier is the predicted class label, and the class label available in the test tuple is the actual class label. If both are same, the classifier result is correct, or we will use the term true. Otherwise, the result is false. So the term true or false describes whether the tuple is placed in the right class or not. What are positive and negative tuples? Now I want to make clear what are positive tuples and negative tuples. Given two classes, we can talk in terms of positive tuples, that is tuples of the main class of interest, versus negative tuples. See the following example in the slide displayed. It contains class label training tuples from the customer database. The database contains fields such as age, income, student, and credit rating. Based on these attributes, the class label is yes or no for the field buys computer. In this database, buys computer is equal to yes can be considered as positive class and buys computer is equal to no as negative class. All the tuples with buys computer can be given the general label as positive and buys computer equals no can be considered as negative class. If we are using the data for classification of any disease, the class label of the person having the disease can be considered as positive and the other as negative. Now, the general label as positive and negative can be assigned to any database having two class labels. Consider the database displayed in the slide. The training data contains name, height, and class. Here, tuples are classified as tall or short based on height. Tuples with class label tall can be considered as positive class and short can be considered as negative. So the positive and negative can be considered as a general label for any database having two different classes. Now, what is actual class and predicted class? Actual class refers to the class label available in the test data. Predicted class is the output obtained from the classifier when the relevant attributes in the test tuple is given as input to the classifier. Now I will make these terms clear by considering an example of a decision tree. Consider the tree shown in the slide. It is generated using the training data given in the slide in the training phase. The training data contains fields homeowner, marital status, annual income, and default borrower. That is, whether a person owns home, his marital status, and annual income. Class label defaulted borrower is based on these attributes. Defaulted borrower is a class label which can have two values, yes or no. Assume that the tree is generated using any one of the tree induction algorithm. In the tree generated, homeowner is the root node. Homeowner, marital status, and income are relevant attributes because they are part of the decision tree. Defaulted borrower is a class label whose values form the leaf nodes. The path taken by input values from the root node to the leaf node will determine the class label or the predicted class in the case of a decision tree. After generating the tree, we will test the model using test data. Test data will also be in the format of the training data. After testing, we can give input tuples for classification. Here I am giving the following input with values homeowner is equal to no, marital status is equal to married, and annual income is equal to 80k as input. Our main objective here is to understand what is predicted class. So path starts with the homeowner. Since value is no, the next node is marital status. Since the value of marital status is married, no is obtained as output. This is the predicted output. Here we use the input data with the no class label. In test data, class label will be available to verify whether the result is correct or not. Here the predicted class label is no. Hence the general class label negative can be considered as the predicted class. Hence we can summarize the result of a classifier as positive tuple classified as positive, positive tuple classified as negative, negative classified as positive, negative classified as negative. Even in the case of class labels with tall and short, the classifier performance can be summarized in the same way. That is, tall classified as tall, which is true positive, tall classified not tall, true false negative, not tall classified tall, false positive, not tall classified not tall, true negative. Based on the actual class label in the test data and the predicted class label, the result can be categorized as true positive, false positive, false negative and true negative. True positive and true negative tells us when the classifier is getting things right, while false positive and false negative tell us when the classifier is getting things wrong. The analysis of the classifier result is summarized in the table shown. So the fields are actual class label, that is class label in the test data. Next is predicted class, that is output of the classifier, result of prediction, whether placed in the correct class or not, the term used and meaning. So actual class label is positive, predicted class label is positive, so the result is correct, true positive, the positive tuples that were correctly labeled by the classifier. Then actual class label is negative, predicted class label is negative, the result is correct, true negative, negative tuples that were correctly labeled by the classifier. Then actual class label positive, predicted class label negative, the result is incorrect, that is false negative. These are the positive tuples that were incorrectly labeled by the classifier as negative. Then actual class label negative, predicted class label positive, the result is incorrect, it is known as false positive, that is negative tuple incorrectly labeled as positive. So the confusion matrix is a useful tool for analyzing how well your classifier can recognize tuples of different classes. The performance of the classifier can be evaluated by the confusion matrix by comparing the predicted class label against the actual class label recorded in the test data. This information is summarized in the table called confusion matrix. So the confusion matrix is shown. So the confusion matrix is displayed in the slide. It contains actual class, predicted class. Predicted class can be positive or negative. Actual class can be positive or negative. When both are positive, true positive. When predicted class is negative and actual class is positive, false negative. Then predicted class is positive, actual class is negative, false positive. Then predicted class and actual class negative, true negative. Now an example of a confusion matrix with values for true positive, false negative, false positive and false true negative is displayed in the table. Now an example of confusion matrix with values are given in the table. 10,000 tuples are used to test the classifier. Out of the 10,000, 6,954 are classified as true positive. Both predicted class and actual class are Bayes computer is equal to yes. And 46 are false negative, 412 are false positive and 2,588 are true negative. If there are m classes, a confusion matrix is a table of size m by m. So an entry in the ith row and jth column indicates the number of tuples of class I that were labeled by the classifier as class J. For a classifier to have good accuracy, most of the tuples would be represented along the diagonal of the confusion matrix. The rest of the entries should be close to 0. Now we can define some measures to evaluate a classifier based on the data in the confusion matrix. They are accuracy, error rate, specificity, sensitivity, precision and recall. The confusion matrix may have additional rows or columns to provide totals. For example, in the confusion matrix of figure, total value of positive tuples P and total value of negative tuples N are shown. In addition, P dash is the number of tuples that were labeled as positive, that is true positive plus false positive, and N dash is the number of tuples that were labeled as negative, that is true negative plus false negative. The total number of tuples is true positive plus true negative plus false positive plus false negative, or P plus N, or P dash plus N dash. Now we will see the formula for accuracy. Accuracy is the percentage of test tuples that were correctly classified by the classifier. In pattern recognition, it is known as overall recognition rate. So accuracy is equal to true positive plus true negative divided by all, or true positive plus true negative divided by P plus N. Now the formula for error rate. We can also speak of the error rate or misclassification rate of a classifier, which is 1 minus accuracy. This can also be computed as false positive plus false negative divided by all, or false positive plus false negative divided by P plus N. If we are using training set instead of test set, this quantity is known as resubstitution error. One issue in classification is the class imbalance problem. That is, the main class of interest is rare. So we need other measures which specify how well the classifier can recognize the positive tuples and how well it can recognize the negative tuples. The sensitivity and specificity measures can be used for this purpose. Sensitivity is referred to as true positive rate. That is the proportion of positive tuples that are correctly identified, while specificity is the true negative rate, that is the proportion of negative tuples that are correctly identified. These measures are defined as sensitivity is equal to true positive divided by P, and specificity is equal to true negative divided by N. The precision and recall measures are also used in classification. Precision can be thought of as a measure of exactness, whereas recall is a measure of completeness. These measures can be computed as precision is equal to true positive divided by true positive plus false positive, and recall is equal to true positive divided by true positive plus false negative.